Hey, so today we are going to review one of my favorite programs. It's one that I have personally never done myself. However, I have reviewed it and I have actually also recommended it for other people to do. So some of my clients, some of my customers at my gym, I recommend this program. So this program I've got all the background information about it on my website. This video is not dedicated to that. If you want to find out more about the history of this program, check out the link to my website below. This is just a tutorial video talking about it. So here we go, let's get started. The first thing you must do is put your 1 rep max in these cells right here for the squat, the bench, the overhead press. That's a strict overhead press, not push press, and the deadlift. It then uses your training max for this program, which, as it says right here, is 90% of your 1 rep max. Some programs that's 95%, this one is 90%. So good to go. Once you've done that, let's get started. So you train 4 days a week. You do one main lift each day of the week. How you want to schedule that is up to you. I have a list of options on my website which you can check out. But you could do maybe bench Monday, squat Tuesday, take Wednesday off, and then Thursday overhead press, Friday deadlift, and then take Saturday and Sunday off. That's a good schedule. That makes sense to me. It gives you enough time to recover and rest in between each training sessions. So I think that's a good one to choose, but I have other options on my website. But make sure that you stick to the schedule that you've chosen for the first week all the way to the last week, the last 16th week of training. Don't change it every other week or change it every other training wave, or just keep it the same unless something so serious and big happens in your life that you must change your schedule. So we have the program split into waves, and each wave lasts 4 weeks. So we've got the 10 rep wave, the 8 rep wave, the 5 rep wave, and the 3 rep wave. Each one of those waves lasts 4 weeks, and each wave is split into 4 phases. We've got the accumulation phase week 1, intensification phase week 2, realization phase week 3, and deload phase week 4. Whew, that's a lot going on there. So that's how this program is split. Okay, each training phase has a specific training goal and protocol. So let's start with the 10 rep wave. So let's talk about the accumulation phase first. Accumulation phase, now it's called the 10 rep wave or 8 rep, 5, 3 rep wave based on the rep scheme you've got for the first and second week. So you can see here we're doing sets of 10, and then we go to the second week, we're doing sets of 10 here. These are warm-up sets. These are prescribed working sets, these 3 sets of 10. So that's how it's determined. That's why it's called a 10 rep wave. Now what you do, you can see we're starting with just 60% for all the lifts, the deadlift, the overhead press, the squat, and the bench, and we're doing sets of 10. And on the final set for each one, you go to failure, but you stop just 2-3 reps shy of complete failure. So you don't actually go to the point where you can't do any more reps. You stop just about 2 to 3 reps shy of complete failure. That's something to bear in mind there. So the intensification phase, we have now, you can see we've increased the intensity to 67.5%, but we've reduced the base volume. We're just doing 3 working sets of 10 reps, but this time we're doing 1 to 2 reps shy of failure instead of 2 to 3. So a little bit more intensity going on there. We're pushing ourselves a little bit harder. So the realization phase kind of reminds me of the Jim Wendler here. We've got the 5-3-1. So we're doing 50%, 60, 70, and then the final set, working set, is to complete and total failure for as many reps as you can. They're saying that you should try to do 16 reps. But if you can do more, do more. And if you are going to do more, write it in this section right here. So I'm going to just leave that as it is. You can actually, what you can do is write it in here. So let's say I did 25 reps. And as you can see, if you are paying attention, very close attention, what it does is it changes the training max for my next wave based on how many reps I perform in that failure set. So as you can see, if I say 16 reps, my new next week my next wave training max is 255 pounds. If I change that back to 25, it's now 280. The more reps you perform here, the higher your training max will be. The less you do, I think if it would imply, the lower the training max would be. So let's just leave it at the base 16 for now. And you can see whatever I put in here is automatically inputted into these cells right here. You can see right here. So that's something to bear in mind when you're doing this. The final fourth phase is week 4. That's the deload phase. You're doing 3 sets of 5 for 40, 50, and I believe 60% of your training max. This is what I call an American deload phase, or I call the lazy phase. I'm not a fan. This is not how I deload. I don't like this style. I don't even like this way of thinking. You know, it's this sort of do your 3 sets of 5 for 40 to 60%. I don't like that, but that's a whole nother video in itself. I have a completely different deloading, I call it unloading system that I use. But for now, let's just leave it at that. This is the way this program is done. So next one, we go to the 8 rep wave. You can see here the first week and the second week we're doing sets of 8. That's why it's called the 8 rep wave. We've now increased the intensity. You can see up in the formula bar we're now doing 65% of our training max, our new training max, not the last training cycle, the last wave's training max. We're doing that for now. Less reps, so we've reduced the base volume, but we've increased the intensity. So we're now doing sets of 8. Okay, and the same principle applies to the final set. We do 2-3 reps shy of complete failure for all the lifts. We then go into the intensification phase. We do 3 sets of 8. The same principle as before, 1 to 2 reps shy of complete failure for that final working set. As you can see here by the plus symbol, that implies go for more reps than just 8. And the same, this time we have increased the intensity to 72%, 72%, 72%, and 72%. So you've increased the intensity, reduced the volume. And then this is the realization phase. This is we've now increased the complexity, the difficulty of the realization phase compared to the first one. We've now got 5, 3, 2, 1, and then 1 additional set to complete and total failure, which is right here. We can see that we're doing 50, 60, and 70%. You can see by this section up here in the formula bar. And then we do 75% for 1 rep, and then we do 80% to failure this time. Now, last time we did that, it was 75%. We've now increased that to 80%, and we've added a little bit more volume into this realization phase. So again, same principle applies based on how many reps you do. Let's see if there's something wrong with this formula bar. Yeah, there is. So put in whatever reps you did in here. Let's say I did 25 because I'm that good. And then I'll come down to here. I will put in how many reps I did for the bench on that final realization, final top set. Say I did 25. And as you can see, it's adjusted my training max based on that. So make sure that you do that. Don't forget. And then you got your deload phase, which is 40, 50, 60. Same as the previous wave. Next wave, the 5 rep wave. Now it's called that because as you can see, we're doing sets of 5, we're doing sets of 5. That's why. Now the intensity is increased. We're now at 70% for our first week, our accumulation phase, but we're doing sets of 5. So we've slightly reduced the number of reps per set, but we've upped the intensity. Very common practice. And then we go to week 2, so the intensification phase for this wave. We are now doing 77.5%, but we're doing less volume, less base volume. And then the realization phase has increased a little bit more in complexity. We're still doing that sort of warming up, 50, 60, and 70%. But now we're doing 75 for 1, we're doing 80 for 1, and then we're doing another working set at 85% of our training max for as many reps as possible. AMAP stands for as many reps as possible to complete failure. And remember, just put in how many reps you did there, and then just put it down here, and it will then adjust your new training max based on how much you put in there. So let's just undo that. So then once you've done that, you got your deload week, same as before, 40, 50, 60, 3 sets, 5 for each main lift. And now this sort of program as well must bring up, they consider the overhead press to be a main lift. Some programs don't consider it to be that. They consider it to be a supplementary lift, because obviously as a powerlifter we do not walk up to the platform and do an overhead press lift. But this program has flexibility. It's tailored not just for powerlifters, for strongman, for maybe NFL players, football players, soccer players, basketball. It can be used for many different purposes. So that's something I must mention. The final wave is the 3 rep range wave. So you can see here we're doing sets of 3. Now the intensity's increased. We're now doing 75%. Same principle as before, 2-3 reps shy of failure for the top final set. So we're doing that, 75% for all main lifts. That's the same intensity percentage of our training max for each of the main lifts. Okay, and then we go to the intensification phase, the second one in this wave. We're doing sets of 3 up here, but this time we're doing 82.5% of our new training max. That's the new training max here. And on the final set, same as before, 1-2-3 reps shy of failure. And then the realization phase, we are now doing more work, more complexity, more intensity here. It's stepped up compared to the previous weeks. We're doing our 50, 60, 70 warm up, and then we do 3 heavy singles, 75, 80, 85%, and then our final set is 90% of our TM. I believe it's 90% of the TM. Yes, it is 90% of the TM for as many reps as possible. And then you've got your deload phase where you do 3 sets of 5 and done. Okay, so there we go. Now what I would possibly advise that you could do is then once you finish this, so you finish this phase here, the final one, week 15, realization phase, you've got your deload week 16, then maybe week 17 you could hit a new PR, so you could chase a new PR in the gym. Alternatively, you can program this so this could be meet week, up to you. Alternatively, you can leave another week after the deload week for just completely chillaxing, resting, not doing any lifting, and then do the meet the following week or chase a new PR, up to you. So this is the program. I'm done there. I'm not going to talk anymore because I'll ramble on. Hope you enjoyed it. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Comment below if you have any questions. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your notifications. Keep up to date with all my content. Have a great day. Check out my website if you want to find out more about this program. Keep lifting. Stay strong. Thanks for watching this video.